Hi, I'm Jonas. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is the second installment of me going through my entire collection, like 3,000 records, and sort of pulling my favorite songs that you probably haven't heard from my collection and showing you. So I have 10 records here. One jazz record, a lot of prog and psych, obviously, because that's what I collect the most. But also a Swedish one and a new record. So a little bit of everything. So as just like the last time, I mean, I checked the first video out. I let you know a little bit more about my sort of project. But like last time, I mean, subscribe if you haven't, give the thumbs up. But mainly, the most important thing is if you know about these songs, because this is a challenge for you. I tried to do as obscure as I can, but I mean, we are all nerds out there, so you have probably heard some of these. but if you have, write that in comments, and also what you think of them, because in my book these are 10 out of 10 songs, 11 out of 10 songs, and maybe it's not for you. So let me know in the comments, or if you agree. Anyway, let's just like swing right into it. Let's start with a bang. This is a fairly rare record. Unfortunately, a cat went bananas on the spine of this. I bought this a long time ago, and it's one of my favorite sort of northern records. When I heard this the first time, it looks more heavy than it sounds, especially the first song, but it's a mind-blowingly good one. And a lot of good bands have come out of Iceland. Not only Björk. So maybe you already know what I'm talking about. But this is Svanfriður with the record. What's it in there? 1972, I think. I'm pretty sure. A great one. This is a cover artwork that you can just like get lost in for hours and hours while you're listening to this. Textured sleeve. Original first Icelandic press. Should be played loud, it says, and yeah, I agree. I agree. The song I'm talking about is the first song on the first side, which I think is a masterpiece. The Woman of Our Day, which really sets the record off in a beautiful way. Yeah, fantastic. On my list of my favorite songs of all time. Moving into England, and this is the only record I think has some heavy metal tendencies due to the bassist. But the first time I heard this, I was floored. I've heard so many versions of this, but I thought that this had a little bit more like a good swing to it, but still snotty and almost like a little bit punky. I think it's a masterpiece of a song. The record itself maybe 7, 8 out of 10, something like that. But the song is, yeah, a favorite of mine. And I'm talking about Sam Gopal, and with Lemmy, obviously, with Escalator. I wish I had an original press of this, but I don't. This was, I think, recorded in Morgan Bluetown Studios, but I might be mistaken. 1969. And the song that I'm talking about is the very famous and almost like boring nowadays, because everyone has made a version of it, called Season of the Witch. But I think that what Sam Gopal does with that song, they do it like it's not unique, definitely not unique, but it has, like I said, a snottiness to it. It's yeah, there's a charm, there's a grittiness to it that I really enjoy. So yeah, 1969, Escalator by Sam Gopal, UK, Season of the Witch. So, in the cradle of the vinyl community back in the days, this was one that came out, everyone was hyping it, and I think that most of us got it. It's a magnificent record, and I actually saw them live the same year, or maybe the year afterwards. Anyway, this is from 2011, and yeah, a lot of hype around it, but the song I'm talking about is Old Black, which I think is a masterpiece. I've listened to other songs and records with this band, and I don't think that they even come close to this. Not before and after. To me, like, I know there's a lot of fans out there, so don't kill me. but yeah, I'm talking about Angels of Darkness, Demons of Light with Earth. So Dylan Carlson was the guy who lent, I think, the shotgun to Kurt Cobain, which is a memorable thing, I guess. Also, they got their name from Black Sabbath, because Black Sabbath before Black Sabbath was called Earth. So they took that. It released a lot of records. Magnificent US band, like really, really good. And with this record, I think that they did a little bit of they went another way. Like this has a cello, which is magnificent, like really, really good. And with the guitar work of Dylan Carlson, I think that and the drums also, it's so damn moody. It's like a soundtrack to a horror western or something like that. It's one that I've been listening to a lot since 2011, when we got the vinyl community in the beginning. Really, really nice. So yeah, 2011, released on Southern Lord. Okay, the last video I did, I had one major artist, and I don't know if that was popular because I'm recording this the same day as that video. But this may be the one that is the major artist on major label that I will get some shit for in the comments field, but I don't care. This, when I heard this, I had no idea about it. I had no idea about this record. I've seen the record cover, but never, bought it. This is 12 years ago, maybe 10, 12, 15 years ago. So yeah, when I heard the song Topanga Canyon the first time, it was like a revelation. Like it's like Laurel Canyon. It's that sort of the 60s vibe to it, but it has like a darkness, an edge to it also, a little bit with the sort of the stuff that happened at that time period, with Health Skelton and so forth, and also with what this guy actually did afterwards. Not a pleasant sort of guy at all. So it has a dark twist to it, in my opinion. What I'm talking about is John Phillips from Mamas and the Papas. I think that he molested like his daughter or something like that. It's insane. Don't take my word for it. Google it yourself and see what you can find. Anyway, if that's your thing. But anyway, the song Topanga Canyon is such a great one. Beautiful. It's almost storytelling wise. You can almost like see yourself being in that sort of time period and situation. Amazing song. Like the rest of it, of the record is great. I mean, it's a good record, but nothing, in my opinion, beats that song. It's an amazing song that will live on forever, at least in this house. So Topanga Canyon, John Phillips, 1970. So a little bit like when that sort of 60s started to set, Yeah. Okay, so this one, 1972, England again. This is on Decca, but this is unbelievably hard to get an original press of. I've tried for years and years. I never found a copy in good shape for a decent price, So in the record store day, I think 5-6 years ago, something like that, they reissued this, and I was super happy. And a good friend of mine, Christopher, actually got me a copy of this. I think he said it for free to me. So yeah, one of my best pals in the sort of vinyl world. Thank you so much, Christopher. This is a magnificent record. Like, it's on a major label, but I don't think that they did anything to promote this, because there are so few copies of an original press of this. Even this, the reissue, I think is starting to get a little bit scarce or harder to find. Anyway, check this out. The entire record is amazing. Really, really good. But this song, in my opinion, stands out a little bit more. It's an 11 out of 10. And I'm talking about Keith Cross and Peter Ross with Bored Civilians, 1972. So it's a very modern, this could be a record cover for a record today, Arctic Monkeys or whatever. I don't know what kids are listening to today. But in 1972, Backside looked like that, and the Decca label, they did a great job with reissuing this. But the song I'm talking about that I will take to my grave is Peace in the End. A magnificent record, song. It's such a beautiful one. It just like, flows, like tag along, you know. Yeah, check it out for yourself instead of listening to me. So moving on, this is a record that I had an original press, like French press, and I was foolish enough to trade it, or if I think I sold it. I regretted it instantly, but nice enough, they reissued this in 2018, so I got it right away, and I've been listening to it. Now, it's not the original artwork on it, which is a shame. I only think they did that on the first one. It's a frame from the movie, and there were some rights issues, something like that. But this is my jazz record that I'm going to show you today. The only jazz record. 1970, and I think that this is labeled as a free jazz record, and sure, I can agree, but the song Theme the Yo-Yo, which is the song that I'm talking about on this one, it's almost like a soulful, funky free jazz tune. It's like a staple in jazz, I think. Even if you're not at all into jazz, I think that you will like that. It has Fontana Bass on it, singing on it. She does a great job, and works perfectly with the Art Ensemble of Chicago's music in the background. This was a soundtrack to a movie in France. So they went to France, they recorded this, and Theme the Yo-Yo has become one of the most popular jazz tunes, I think, in today. I think it's been sampled and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know if this reissue is still available. It sounds great. Can't really remember if it sounds worse than the original press I had, but I don't know. The original press I actually got from, I think it was like in a record fair, a heavy metal guy was selling records. He had one crate with jazz records, and I found an original press for that for €8. That was a good day. So, moving on, I think that I was hooked on this record by Derek Higgins in the vinyl community. He showed this, talked about it. The years went by, and I found it, bought it, loved it. And the song that I'm talking about is the title track of the record, called "The North Wind Blew South." Very psychedelic, like very flowing sort of song and record by Philomel Lincoln. It sounds just like this, like a little bit anonymous, like a secret, like a hidden gem. Here's the backside. It's not as appealing as the front, but yeah, looks kind of cool. It has a Roger Daltrey kind of Robert Plant-ish vibe to it. I think this is 1971, something like that. Can't find a date on it. And on Epic. So yeah, I don't know how obscure this is, but it's one that you won't find along with Beatles and Bruce Springsteen and Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, I think. So if you haven't heard that, check it out. I believe if you like what I'm showing here in the years that I've been on YouTube, I'm pretty sure that you will like this song. The North Wind Blew South. Okay, before we go to Sweden, I'm going to do a little bit of a visit to Norway, actually. Last video I showed the Terje Rypdal's Min Bull record, a fantastic jazz record with Champagne, of course, the masterpiece. Now this is a folk record by a group called Folk, and this is, I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, this is the debut record by them from 1974. Yeah, they do a song here called Harpa, the last song on the first side. Harpa. And I think it's a little bit traditional, because I've heard other versions of that. They sing in Norwegian, but the mood of it, even if I don't understand all the words, the mood of it is fantastic. It definitely has one leg in sort of the British folk wave of the 60s and late 60s and early 70s, but another leg in traditional Scandinavian folk. Like you can hear the mountains and you can hear the moss and the trees, you know, in every single note and word that they are singing. I think it's a masterpiece of a song, and the entire record is really, really good. Maybe like a 8 out of 10 in my opinion. I haven't really got into any other folk records, folk records. So this is the only one that I have. I've listened to them. I'm not as impressed as with this one. And with Harpa, I bought it mainly because of that song, to be honest. Okay, so I think I'm gonna be, even if you live in Sweden, you are going to be sort of flabbergasted by me showing this record, because this is not a record that a lot of people like. And I don't either. I've talked shit about this so many times. But there is one song, the first song on the first side, just this first song that starts the entire record off, is an amazing song. In my opinion, this is 1985. It was put out on Silence Records with one of our most beloved Swedish artists of all time, Bo Hansson, with Hansson and Karlsson, and he did Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. So not even if you are Swede, I think maybe you have heard this. And all you other guys out there internationally, I think you can check this out on YouTube. So this one, Bo Hansson, I think it's self-titled. No, Mitt i livet, In the Middle of Life. This was called 1985. It's a really junk record. Like, the rest of it is just like 3 out of 10, you know. But the first song, called Magadonian, with a female vocals and guitars by Kenny Håkansson. I mean, it's a magnificent song, in my opinion. You might not agree. They sing in Swedish, but I think that even if you're international, I think you can appreciate the vibe and the musicianship of it. It's really like sounds almost like a soundtrack of sorts to a movie that don't exist. That was Bo Hansson's last record, if I'm not mistaken, 1985, before he stopped doing music and later on drank himself to death. Very, very sad, and one of, if not the most important guy for prog music in Sweden. Not the best work, as I said. All other records by Bo Hansson is better, but that song is magnificent. Check it out. Okay, so last but not least, I'm doing this series with private pressed records. I show the private pressed records, rare private pressed records that I have in my collection. I think that I showed this not too long ago, depending on when you watch this and so forth. But if you're into this kind of music, I have an entire series of just showing really rare private pressed records. And I bought this maybe a year ago, 9 months ago, something like that. So it's completely new for me. I had no idea about it. There's only one song, and that's this song that I'm going to show you on YouTube. So check that out. But when I heard it the first time, I was floored. Like, how could this not be more popular? How can people not know about this song and this record? I mean, but obviously, a lot of these sort of records were produced back in the day. I mean, you didn't have a label that promoted it. You funded it yourself. You put it out. You know, you had hopes and stuff like that. Or maybe you just you wanted to record it and just give it to friends and family. You know, you didn't think that you were going to be a big rock star. I have no idea. 1983, and I'm talking about Peeping Tom with Petrified. And most of you, I don't think, have heard this or heard about this, if you haven't seen that video that I did, because this is as rare as it gets, and obscure that it gets. This is 1983. It's a hard rock record, or rock. It sounds more of late 70s, that sort of almost Fleetwood Mac rumors kind of production-wise, at least. Yeah, like late 70s, but cut in 1983. The record is good, in my opinion. It's a good one. It's not a masterpiece, but it's good. But the song that I really think is standing out and it's amazing is Walk Into the Light. It's just like it has that sort of vibe to it, and the rockiness that could fill arenas, you know. There's also this last track, Speak to Me Lover, is also a really good song, but it's maybe a 9 out of 10, where Walk Into the Light is 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Those two tracks alone is worth seeking this record out. So yeah, Peeping Tom, Petrified, 1983, Walk Into the Light. That's it. 10 records. I hope you enjoyed that. Please comment if you know any of these songs. I mean, it's a little bit of a challenge for you guys. I try to pick the obscure things that, in my opinion, is masterpieces. And, you know, we are all nerds out there, so many of you will know parts of these at least. But maybe I can turn you on to one or two songs that you didn't know about. I don't know. So yeah, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone.